All right, people have been asking me now to look into. I don't know anything about the quartering. So this is the quartering, the anti-SJW content audit. Content audit. Oh, like Content Cop or Creator Court or something. What would Ethan do? Court? Whatever. What did he call it? Whatever. All right, so I guess he's a social justice warrior himself. All right, let's do this.
Hello, teabags, and welcome.
I just peed in my basement. Yeah, I don't see what the problem is with peeing in your basement, dude. I just pee myself all the time, and then I throw my underwear away because I'm rich. You know what I mean? Piss your underwear, throw them in the garbage. It's just practical. All right, I'm not rich.
Welcome back to another episode.
This is very loud. Why is it so loud? Oh, because I have it up to 300%. Duh.
Episode of the Willie Mac Show. Today is a big day because we're going to be talking about an even bigger neckbeard than me. Yes, we're going to be talking about the quartering, aka Jeremy. I'm dying.
That's an interesting name.
Inside, and all I see are demons. The Quartering is a YouTuber with over 1 million subscribers. Wow. His content revolves mostly around anti-SJW videos.
Okay.
And
SJWs are ruining Magic the Gathering. Oh, no. I mean, Magic the Gathering was ruined by its fan base, if you think about it. Let me tell you something. I wanted to go to, like, a store one day, and I wanted to go and look around at, like, all the stuff. It was, like, a comic book kind of store. You know, it's got comic books in it. Comic books, and it has some figurines. And I'm like, hey, I want to go in there, and I want to go buy something. I go there on a Sunday. Biggest mistake of my life. When I tell you that when I walked into that room, there were literally 50 people that looked like myself in there, but somehow fatter and less attractive. I can't explain the room. I can't explain the layout. I can't explain this sense of fear that washed over me, because I'm not afraid of them hurting me, but I was afraid that I would become them. You know what I'm saying? I was afraid that that would be me, or that would have been me, if something had gone slightly different in my life. And it's a terribly existential feeling that washes over you. You know? And so I walked out immediately. I just left. Okay? So yeah. Yeah, you guys are nerds. That's all I had to say.
in fact, I like to call him the anti-SJW SJW.
Okay.
Now, I could make a video talking about how hypocritical he is. He's the kind of guy that will complain about old tweets.
Yes, everyone knows how the right wing is the side constantly canceling people for old tweets. Those pesky right wingers right again. Listen, Twitter is cancer. Like, stop talking on Twitter. It's just it's really like people think that Twitter is just a place where everybody puts hot takes. Here's my hot take. That's it. There's no dialogue on there. It's just a hot take machine, and you're doing it on purpose. You're saying dumb shit on purpose. That's it. That's all you're doing. Okay?
Being brought up to cancel people when he's done the exact same thing. I could talk about how lazy and brain dead his content is. He just sits there and reads articles, doing no extra research. Like when he uploaded a video.
Hey, I do that sometimes.
About how a primary school apparently had litter boxes in the bathrooms for students that identified as cats.
That's based, bro. That's pretty cool. Okay, cool.
Stories swirling all over the internet about a Michigan school allegedly...
I saw the story. Did they actually... Oh, allegedly. Having cat boxes?
Putting litter boxes in their bathrooms.
Yeah, it sounds like... what would you call this? It sounds like the Quartering does breaking news. Is that what you call it? Breaking news. Like, oh, I heard a thing. Let's talk about it really quick. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. People, unfortunately, enjoy this. It's like the similar Def Noodle style of content. It's breaking news content. Stay tuned.
For students, who identify as cats or who are, I guess, furries,
feline gender. Okay.
In the school. Now, of course, they've denied these claims, and we'll have to leave it up to you.
It's so fucked up. I remember, I forget the specifics. I think it was Louis C.K. But he was harassing a politician saying, are you guys, I think it was Louis, I don't remember who it was. asking like, are you a lizard person, over and over again. And the guy was just like, I'm not going to answer the question. And the reason that you don't answer the question, are you a lizard person, is because now you go on record saying, I'm not a lizard person. And there's nothing more that can make you seem like a lizard person than saying, I'm not a lizard person. Right? And so this is what the school did. They're like, yeah, we don't have litter boxes. It's like, well, now I feel like maybe you do. You said you didn't have this thing. It's like reverse psychology. It's like, oh my God, you're saying you don't have, why would you answer that question? You have litter boxes in your school. Now, if I had to guess, if there is any level of truth to it, some dumb fucking kids decided to dump sand on the floor and like take a stupid picture and make it a meme. I don't really know, but maybe.
To figure out who's telling the truth here.
Bro, you're the one making the video. How is it up to me to figure out the truth? The school says it isn't the case. There's been no evidence of this being the case. So why pretend like it is? It's so lazy.
You know what it probably was? Some kid probably was just like, let's say this thing is real and see who takes it. And then that's what it is. I heard that I don't know if this is actually true, but I heard that there was like this weird misinformation program where it was like, oh, somebody had said that you eat a spider. Everybody on average eats like 1 to 3 or a certain number of spiders every year in their sleep, but they're not realizing it. And I've always thought that was true, but then it turns out apparently that's not true, and that was just like intentionally pushed out there to see how viral, ridiculous information can be. And what's interesting is that's basically only JS's entire content base is it's called a Reddit fact. All right, a fact. That's why you know what it is.
Jeremy's content is so lazy, he will have a sponsorship to read for a video and accidentally cut it off halfway through reading it, ending the video early.
Use code THEQUARTERING at checkout at Meta PCs. I know I'll be getting myself a brand new one before the...
I mean, it's just funny. I feel like that's just a mistake. That's just funny.
Do they get half their money back since you only read half their sponsorship? The Quartering's the type of guy that'll say something in a video that could be interpreted as racist or homophobic, and he'll catch himself, but he'll just forget to edit it out. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody start a sentence with, it's not a false equivalency, and then realize by the end he just made a false equivalency.
It's not a false equivalency.
Jordan Peele on Making Movies After Us. I don't see myself casting a white dude as the lead. Okay. You know, I can understand that. It's not really it's not really Jordan Peele saying I don't like white people. I think it's more that Jordan Peele wants to make content about black people because he's black. And there's more, it's just an inclusivity argument. Like, okay, and if it makes you uncomfortable, I get it. But like there's not a lot of black, or there's not as much black representation. And so Jordan Peele's like, hey, let's make a movie. I'm going to make movies about black people as the lead roles, which is totally fun. Because if you look back, it's really interesting. If you look back at a lot of older media, even movies that were about slavery, where there were black characters, had the lead role of white characters experiencing the slavery through the lens of, I'm a virtuous white person in the 1800s or whatever, and I don't hate black people. It's so interesting. The focus of black oppression movies historically in the United States has been centralized around the white perspective of somebody who is a virtuous white person that doesn't hate black people. And it's so like, yeah, I totally understand this. Like, how many movies do we really have that are up like from the black perspective? I think we have, was 12 Years a Slave maybe? But you get my point. And so like Jordan Peele just wants to make movies with black people in it. Okay. Who cares? What is the Quartering say about it though?
Entire point is simple. Change one word. Imagine. Imagine me saying, hey, I just started exclusivelygames.com. I'm only hiring white people, straight white males, because I mean the entire.
Well, again, it's about this whole concept of like, hey, there's already a lot of like a representation from this thing. Like if I made a movie where I was like, I'm gonna write a story about Italians. I don't really intend, and I said I don't intend to make a black leader in it or a black lead role. I don't see myself casting a white dude as, and let's say I said I don't see myself casting a black person as the lead in this Italian mafia movie. Would you think that's racist? Probably not. Now, it's unnecessary for me to say because it goes without saying. But in this case, he's just basically saying I don't see myself casting a white dude in lead, probably in the reference to like I'm going to make like cinema that's revolves around black things, black stuff, you know? That's pretty much it.
White males. Because, I mean, the entire industry is full of you know, LGBT or women.
Well, if that was true, if there was not a lot of straight white male representation, sure, I guess that would be fine. But we don't really live in that world.
Now, I guess
We
that
don't live in that world.
wouldn't be a fair.
Unless it's my mind, because because I'm not gay, right? Is that the joke? That there's a lot of women and LGBT people in my brain because I'm not gay. Okay.
Equivalency.
No shit, you should have edited that out. Now I could make a 4-hour video on just how flimsy and weak this guy's principles are. He's a walking, talking hypocrite, but
See, I can understand where, like, if you're on stream all day and you say some dumb shit, because listen, we're all there. Sometimes you're running an idea through your brains. You're like, oh, let me think about this thing. And then, like, it takes a while. Sometimes when you get introduced to a new idea, even if it's simple for other people, if you're really trying to come to a really solid conclusion on the idea, it could take a little bit of time. Like, when I had my conversation with Brittany Simmons, I sat there and I talked to her, and she asked me questions that nobody really asked me before. And I, like, sat there and I had to wait for a minute because I had to, like, it's difficult to come up with answers for something you've never thought about before. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, that's a normal thing, but that's on stream, you know?
But if you watched as many quartering videos as I have, you already know that Jeremy doesn't give a shit about his principles. So why should I? Instead, I'm just gonna make a video about how much of a loser he is.
I love hentai, I need hentai in my life. All day, I love hentai, I need hentai in my life.
Jeremy
I like that. I don't like it that much. I only look at it every so often, but, you know, it's not bad. My personally, you know, like, who does it? Like, I like the, oh, I just hurt my foot. Oh, that really hurt. Ow. Fuck. I personally like the Overwatch. I can't. You already know where this is going.
likes cartoons, maybe a little bit more than most people. He was angry about a remake of She-Ra.
For those of you that don't know, this is the original She-Ra. How
I'm going to say something. The remake of He-Man by Kevin Smith, right? It was horrible dog shit. I just didn't like it. The story was just poo-poo. Like, I didn't really get what was going. Like, I'm not a big He-Man guy, but I genuinely believe that, like, it should be, like, you should be able to keep up with it. And it was just all over the place. It came off as a show that was written in, like, the 90s, but we've evolved media-wise, so it was lame. But that's it. That's the only criticism. I just didn't like the story was weird. I couldn't even get into it. Maybe that's just me. I've never seen the She-Ra, but
She-Ra probably should look. Let's take a look at the original beauty from the 80s.
Okay. I like the armpit. I like arm. I just listen. I like armpits in general. What am I doing today? Let's just. Okay.
Yo,
looks
what the
fun.
fuck?
Notice that it went from a princess,
Yeah.
right? Because that was okay back in the 80s, femininity. You know, it was okay for women to be women.
Okay.
Nowadays, that's different, right? We want all of our women to be androgynous or male-like.
understand.
And notice now
Xena the Warrior Princess was fucking awesome, bro.
all of a sudden she's an orphan.
Okay.
Why? Who knows?
Character depth. She's the Princess of Power. Okay.
Yes, that's right. On the left is the new She-Ra.
Okay.
She-Ra.
What's the
And
problem?
here is old She-Ra. I don't know
What's happening here?
if you notice anything here, but
You can't see her tits? Is that the problem? She's like 17, I think. Who cares?
that's a man.
Is it just because
I wonder, you know what I find the most interesting out of any? It's like the new cartoon. Like, I don't particularly care for the new age cartoon style for stuff, just because it's like not, I just don't particularly care for it. But I understand that I'm a boomer and that, like, younger people identify with that. But also, this is the thing I would ask you guys. How do you think the conversations go with his wife? Because I sit down and I talk to my wife all the time about, like, everything. The stuff that I talk about on stream, we talk about her day, you know, all this other bullshit. You know, the stuff that doesn't matter, like her day and her as a person. She doesn't matter. I'm just kidding. I love her. So I sit there and I talk to my wife about, like, everything. So imagine the quartering. This is a conversation that he most likely had with his wife. You know, I don't like the new She-Ra. I don't know. I'm trying to catch his mannerisms, but I'm not gonna be able to do it. So I'm just gonna keep going. I don't like the new She-Ra because I can't see her fat titties. And his wife's probably like, yeah, sure. Sure, Jeremy. Okay. Like, you think that she's exhausted by everything he says? Because my wife will push back on anything I say that she doesn't agree with. Literally, she doesn't care. Like, I could say something that I'm impassioned about. She'll be like, that's stupid. She won't say it's stupid. She'll be like, I don't agree with that. And then we'll have a whole conversation about it, which happens on some of my videos, which is why, like, my perspective changes on shit. But it sounds like his wife just, like, placates him, or to him. Am I using that word right? I don't know. He's like, yeah, I wish her tits were bigger too, Jeremy. I wish your tits were bigger too. Hey, can you help me take care of our son? You know what I mean?
She doesn't have big tits, Jeremy. Is that why?
That's a man.
Not for nothing, but not all girls have large breasts. Hot take. Not all girls have big boobies. It's a little weird to be like, that's a man because they don't have big tits in your face. You don't have huge tits in my face? You're a fucking boy. That's weird. Why do you have to be sexually attracted to all the women that exist? Like, that's my thing. Why do you need to be horny? You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's okay that you don't find women attractive. They're not there for your attractiveness. The girl character exists to be a person. Interesting stuff.
That is She-Ra's body.
Okay.
That is a She-Ra action figure.
I bet you have that action figure. You put... Jeremy, do you have a jar large enough to fit that action figure in? Jeremy, do you have an action figure? Fuck. Jeremy, do you have a container, a glass jar, that you can fit your She-Ra action figure into, and then slowly fill it up with cum?
Yeah, it's definitely about the titties. I don't really understand because didn't he say the remake was about an orphan girl? And he's mad over the boobs? He then posted a big titty hentai picture on Twitter captioned "Cope."
Okay. I mean, it's an interesting picture. Okay. Based? I don't know what to say.
I saw this and I was trying to understand. I'm trying to rationalize in my head. And I thought, you know what? Maybe if I really liked a show growing up when I was a kid and then they remade it with all these changes, I would be upset too. But then he says he never even really liked the show that much.
He-Man was my jam when I was young.
Okay.
And She-Ra, obviously not really, other than, my sister, likes She-Ra.
Then why the...
So you want to know why your sister likes She-Ra? Because your sister's a girl and identifies with She-Ra. Okay. It's not because she was sexy. So like you occasionally jerked off in the shower to the character, but your sister identified with it. Okay.
What the fuck do you care? It just makes me think you jerk off to cartoons.
But
who doesn't jerk off to cartoons? Can we sometimes? Like, I jerked off to Wonder Woman before, not the actual cartoon. Like, you look at hentai porn. You played the video, you played the song. Okay? It's okay to jerk off to Dexter's mom. It's okay to jerk off to Dexter's mom from Dexter's Laboratory. I'm going to live and die on that sword. And I feel like that's we all know it. We're just afraid to say it. And Danny Phantom's mom. Duh. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, I'm definitely gonna pleasure myself to this picture later. So joke's on you. Joke's on you.
No, Jeremy, the joke is definitely still on you.
But you wonder what little girls, if they are viewing this and
Okay.
it's sold to them as like this female empowerment thing,
Okay.
and all that. What do they have to look up for?
What does that mean?
Look up to.
What does that mean?
And you wonder what
Hey, thank you so much for the raid.
the young men's generation, the young men of this day are going to have to look forward to.
I'm confused.
Women.
Absolutely.
I'm very confused. What is it? What's the argument here? Is the argument because you can't see the character's fat tits that girls will be upset? Because I think if anything, differences in body types probably make young girls feel better about themselves. I don't know. I'm not a child girl child. So, okay.
Absolutely nothing. They should all just kill themselves because She-Ra doesn't have tits.
True. Yeah. And all young girls without tits should also kill themselves by association. Because if you don't have big boobies, then what's the point of living? That's a joke, obviously. Don't do that. Okay, all boobies are beautiful. Okay? Just letting you know.
You've always been in
my life.
Jeremy is the most woke YouTuber I know. He talks more about LGBT, race, and diversity than any other creator. My favorite take from Jeremy is when he talks about diversity in Apex Legends. Extreme wokeness in Apex Legends proves SJWs are wrong about gamers.
I don't understand. What does that mean? What does it mean? Oh, okay. Okay. The argument is that Apex Legends proves that games are inclusive. Okay, so like there has been a history of like issues where games weren't super inclusive. That was just a thing. And then guess what? More titles come out and they add inclusivity. Look at Overwatch. There's a ton of different inclusivity, different people from different countries. Really cool, inclusive game. Obviously the workplace is not good. But the game was inclusive. That's how progress is made. You complain about things. Some things are justifiable, some aren't. It is justifiable to complain about not enough like inclusivity and just having like very stereotypical. Like when playing MMOs, all women's armors, there's basically tassels on your tit. Now, I personally like that. I personally enjoy the tassels on your boobies for female characters, but people feel like that maybe is a little sexist, right? Because you have the men in this like fucking big hulking armor, and then you got girls. You can't, you can just see their boobies. And again, women are really only exist so that I can see them. But I can understand why women would think that that's sexist. So yeah, okay. So Apex Legends proves that times are changing. Okay.
Okay, Jeremy, tell me about this extreme wokeness.
If you want me to get real here on a Friday, I don't think that it was a mistake that when you look at the Legends roster and you have a non-binary character, a gay Pacific Islander, a black female with pink hair.
Black female with pink hair? Is that part of the LG? Is pink hair an identity?
A robot that's agender or something like that.
Okay.
You have a female and a...
But where's the straight white guy? Listen, there has to be at least one straight white guy in every game. I just need somebody to... Like, when I played Valorant, I would only play the straight white American. He doesn't have to be straight. I don't care about that. But I need my white American character so I can identify with it, so I can walk around and I feel like an American. I need to feel like Hulk Hogan. You know what I'm saying? So, is there one? Okay, don't forget about me. I just want one character.
Another female.
We got a female and another female. That's 3 females in one genderless robot? Dude, the politics this game is pushing.
Octane is a straight white or a white guy? Perfect. That's all I need. One white. I don't need a lot of variety. I'm a very boring person, but I need one white dude. So I could be like, oh, okay. That's kind of like me. I'm also a white guy. That's how everybody looks at it. You all look at everything through that lens. Like, that's me,
Is way too much. It's way too woke for me. Jeremy, I got a solution for you, man. We get somebody, they could mod the game for you, put some big old titties on that robot.
Well, that's not bad. Where did you find that?
Big titty robot for Apex Legends.
And you have, again.
I wasn't asking for myself.
Just going to put...
Octane's Mexican. I don't care if he's Mexican as long as he looks white. I just need to be able to identify with it, okay? Just give me one white guy, please.
This out there, the only outwardly straight white male being
there we
fat.
go. They got Caustic. And he's fat. Perfect. That's it. If I ever play the game, I'll play Caustic.
And bearded. Also behind a paywall.
Oh,
well, I don't care about that.
no way. Jeremy's in Apex Legends? People have it dead wrong about Jeremy. I've seen people call him homophobic in the past, sexist, but they forget.
Honestly, he just seems like a normal guy that I used to work with. Like, I feel like most people, you're looking for this profound... Jeremy's the guy I used to work with, except the guy, he acts like a 50-year-old man that doesn't really understand anything. That's pretty much it. You know what I mean? I'm okay with those guys because it's like, yeah, I think you're being a little ridiculous, but I don't care. You know what I mean? That's pretty much how I feel about that.
Marvel announced their new superhero Valkyrie was going to be LGBT, Jeremy was very supportive, tweeting, "I am here for it. I want full on, full nude, hardcore lesbian sex.
Why
No
so
cutaways
horny?
to sunset. It's gotta be sweaty, slippery, lesbian intercourse with the lights fully on, multiple times throughout the movie. If Disney doesn't do this, then they don't care about inclusion."
I will say one thing, like I think it's cool to have more inclusion, but sometimes it does feel like these companies are virtue signaling, which can be a little bit annoying, you know?
Well, if you ever wondered what kind of porn Jeremy watches, there you go.
Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia. I'll be making fucking dough in the pizzeria.
I didn't expect this to be a slide when I started making this video, but at this point I know too much. We know he jerks off to cartoons, lesbian superheroes, and potentially gendered video game robots. But did you know he had a fetish? During a live stream, he accidentally showed his recent search history, and forced cream pie was the first thing that popped up.
Okay. Okay. What's wrong with that, dude?
I wasn't really sure what that was, so I put it in Google, and a bunch of rape fetish porn popped up.
I mean, listen, not for nothing. A lot of people, a surprising amount of people, women included, do have what you like to call consensual non-consent fetishes, okay? People, like, it's a very prevalent fetish for people to like that. Now, it's not okay if they actually do it, but, like, listen, bro. I'm not going to tell you that my wife and I don't have similar interests in the bedroom, you know, but that's between two consensually non-consenting adults, okay? It's actually pretty normal. It's weird, I guess, but I don't really care.
I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do with that information, but since I'm forced to live with it, you should be too. So congratulations.
I just can't imagine Jeremy being in like a role play scenario like with his wife, like being the aggressor. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't really like imagine that voice. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to enact this. So, yeah.
You're so fucking ugly and your face is fucking foul. Jeez, you're so fucking loud. Can you shut your fucking mouth?
Jeremy cares a lot about looks. He cares a lot about how his cartoons look, and he cares a lot about how his women look. Famously, he made fun of the way Megan Fox looks.
And I stand by that. Megan Fox had way too much plastic surgery and she looks like a cement face, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I'm not a big fan of girls that have a lot of plastic surgery.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, being a sexist asshole is one thing, and that's not okay. But let's not pretend for a second that being attractive, male or female, doesn't put you on easy mode for things like Twitch and YouTube. Well,
that is true. I mean, the reality is if you look at a lot of like very popular streaming individuals, they tend to be attractive. It's men and the women. Like they really all tend to be attractive. Now there are some that aren't necessarily attractive, like Asmongold. No offense, Asmongold. He looks like shit. I love his content. But a lot of people, it's like the halo effect. People tend to be more trusting of individuals that are more considered more attractive. It is true. I just wonder why. Who cares? Let's see. There's a reason she wears 6 pounds of makeup, and it's not because she wants to. Well, she probably does want to. Society conditions women to want to wear makeup. Now, I don't know how much of that, stems from women enjoying makeup. I don't really care, but who cares if she wears makeup?
Male or female doesn't put you on easy mode for things like Twitch and YouTube. Well, I have to commend the quartering because his looks definitely don't put him in easy mode. In fact, I'm sure it makes it very, very hard for him every day.
So Jeremy, like, let's have an honest. He's not a bad looking guy. Like, let's be honest here. He's not a bad looking guy. And Jeremy looks like a pretty typical conservative. Like, I look like a pretty typical conservative. And so that actually makes, like, conservative audiences trust him more. Probably progressive audiences trust him less. So, yeah, that's my struggle a little bit there. Smash or pass for who? Is the quartering? I don't know, bro. He doesn't really seem clean. He doesn't seem particularly clean,
There's a reason she wears 6 pounds of makeup, and it's not because she wants to.
Maybe she's just working her face out. That's a lot of weight to put on your face.
Bro, you try to own people by tweeting out hentai. Shut the fuck up. Help! 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 The quartering isn't exactly the coolest YouTuber out there. One time his wife left his drunk ass in the basement while she went and got pizza for herself, and he was...
Wow, that's terrible. I would be genuinely offended if my wife ever got pizza without me.
Balding the whole time.
My wife went out for pizza without me.
I'm not kidding. I'm being completely serious. I would be fucking pissed if my wife got pizza without me. I'd fucking kill her. I think it would turn into a domestic abuse situation.
And I'm angry about it. So I'm gonna win this round, and then I'm gonna pee. If I don't win this round, I'm gonna pee in my own basement.
And he doesn't mean pee in the basement bathroom. Oh, no, no, no. See, he's mad at his wife, so he's going to pee on the basement floor.
Okay, you know, that's stand your ground, bro. This is weird, but I don't really care. Okay.
I don't have a toilet down here. All I have is a drain in the floor.
Well, I guess at least a drain somewhere.
I feel like we're gonna have to use it, though. I feel like we're gonna have to use it. Get up!
Okay.
Get up! No!
To be honest with you, bro, if he's in the basement and he doesn't have a drain or he doesn't have a bathroom, I'd probably piss in a drain too. You guys know I'm diabetic. How often do I pee? I'm fucking constantly going and taking a goddamn piss. Like, it's like, what am I supposed to do? Go up the stairs? Then I'll lose weight. It's insane. We're gonna watch him piss. Doesn't sound like pissing at all.
Oh my god. I just peed in my basement.
This is just stupid. Probably stinks down there now.
What the fuck? No, not in the kitty litter. Just in the drain.
I think it's better to pee in the drain than the kitty litter. That would just be weird.
In the drain.
Drunk Jeremy is probably...
I feel like, who cares? Like, why do people give that? I mean, it's like a dumb meme. Whatever. Okay.
my favorite character arc on his channel. He once uploaded a video completely shit-faced.
This platform is crumbling from the inside out,
Okay.
and they have abandoned creators.
And they have abandoned creators.
I feel so powerless. More and more creators are reaching out to me who are being taken advantage of by people promising to be sponsors, and then they get their channel stolen, their livelihood stolen, and I can't do anything about it.
And I can't do I can't.
That's why you just have to not ever get sponsored, like myself. I don't get sponsors. Where's my G Fuel sponsorship? I saw Moist Critical had like a new G Fuel flavor. It was like peach mango. It looks good. Where's my flavor? Okay. If I had a flavor of G Fuel, it would be fucking root beer. It would be fucking root beer flavored G Fuel, baby. Is that our thing? If not, hit me up for some root beer flavored G Fuel. Could you imagine? Could you imagine a root beer flavored G Fuel, bro? That would be insane. I feel like this video, we have to make this happen. Okay? And I already have like the perfect promo here, right? Just think about it. We're sitting here. We'd be sitting here on our big old screen. And hold on, let me see. We get a beautiful... Is this a song? I got my G Fuel here. And then I drink it. That would be incredible. Maybe I'll twerk. Maybe I would twerk. Maybe I would twerk during that. How would you guys like that? If I twerked during that? Okay, you know what? Let's do it. What do you think about that? What do you think about that, G Fuel? What do you think about that, G Fuel? Huh? I'm just saying, you guys are missing out on trillions of dollars a year.
Can't do anything about it.
I make these videos, I make another video, I ask you all to please like it and share it, and tag you YT creators on Twitter. Please do that with this one too, because it's literally the only freaking thing I can do.
Okay, you look sad.
Nothing. Nothing.
This feels a little forced, to be honest with you.
It's okay, Jeremy. I still appreciate your efforts, man. The quartering is someone who's very proud of himself when he helps somebody out. He once
cool.
what looks like drove himself home drunk from the bar and then posted a video to Twitter making himself emotional about how great he is.
Seriously, I'm so proud of all of you. What good is a platform if you can't do good with it?
Yeah, this guy's wasted in the driver's seat of a car.
I fucking love all of you. Fuck all the haters. For as much drama milking as I do, we do so much more good.
Jeremy, how can you see
I mean, listen, it's cringy, but like, okay, I guess makes a point. At least he's admitting that he drama milks. Okay.
how much good you're doing when you can't even keep both your eyes open?
And it has
I can't either, I have
absolutely
Tourette's, so.
nothing to do with me. And everything to do with all of you.
Okay.
Seriously, thank you for making me look better than I really am.
You still look like shit.
Poo poo pee pee penis and vagina. Women with dicks and weak men with vaginas.
Jeremy is very soft. He once nuked his entire
How did this become louder?
Twitter because people were making fun of his dumb tweets so much. Where did all my tweets go? I am changing my approach to Twitter. Fewer tweets, fewer fights, and more chonky dog and cat photos.
That makes sense. Twitter is very dumb and toxic.
This is about taking responsibility and taking action. I am very close to leaving Twitter altogether, but I think this will help. So many positive comments in here, but also loads of cancer too. Just proves I was right to
Here's an example of one of my posts on Twitter. It's a picture that I took with a fan the other day at the store, and he said, and I look like I have to shit. And I'm gonna give it a like, because you got to be your own biggest fan.
do this. You sound like as big of a snowflake as the people you criticized. Jeremy has the amazing talent of turning things around into making himself look like the victim. He's the ultimate SJW. He once tried to cancel a fellow Magic the Gathering creator.
I lost a follower for supporting Nazi punchage, and one for what the fuck? I lost a follower for supporting Nazi punchage and one for saying nonsense about modern. I'm very confused. What the fuck just happened?
Creator named Talarian College for saying it sounds like you traded up when replying to someone losing a follower on Twitter. Jeremy then makes a whole video saying how the guy supports political violence because of that one tweet.
I mean, like, why? What do you mean? I would beat the shit out of a Nazi. Who fucking cares? Like, why do we pretend that we have to be like nice to everybody? Like, if you're a Nazi, I hate you. I don't know what. Like, it's not even a hot take. Like, I was just like, why do we? But it's so weird. Like, why do we need to pretend like there aren't bad groups of people in the world? I don't understand. Nazis are not good. Italians are not good. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, dude?
People then started calling the professor a Nazi, which upset him because he's Jewish. When the professor explained why that offended him because he had family who died in the Holocaust,
That's
Jeremy
terrible.
immediately twisted into making himself the victim.
I received so many comments about Nazis and the Holocaust and my being one and what I'm doing. And, you know, most of my family died in concentration camps.
That's horrible, bro. So this guy basically defended punching Nazis, and then they called him a Nazi. That's a crazy turnaround. And then this guy had the apparently this is the Jewish guy whose family, a lot of them died in the Holocaust. That's horrible. At that point, if I was the one who made this prescription, I would say, you know, bro, I'm very sorry. My bad. You know, and grow as a human. That's what the quartering was probably going to do.
Did you just evoke concentration camps to strengthen your video about mean tweets?
No,
Okay, that was very close to the direction that I would have gone. What the fuck? Bro, dude, this guy's family who's died in the Holocaust, and it upsets him. It makes sense to me. Right? So he's like, hey, my family... It's not like he's just like, hey, that was a sad time in his life. He's like, my family died, and it means a lot to me. And you're calling me a Nazi because I don't like Nazis, and that's really upsetting me. And your argument is like, are you invoking emotion? Yeah, you were crying in another video. People invoke emotions all the time. Like, it's okay to do it as long as you're not being performative. This guy just looks like he's just on his fucking struggle, bro. It makes him very upset. Like, what? I don't understand. Yeah, he almost did it right. He was so close, except he got all of the words wrong.
he's saying why he's not a Nazi. Only Jeremy could twist it this way.
And, you know, most of my family died in concentration camps.
After the professor
What the fuck? Holy shit. I'm assuming he's laughing because he's taking the stance of like, oh, you're just trying to emotionally appeal to people. But holy shit, dude, that's really scummy. What the fuck, bro? Why can't you just be a fucking person? I don't understand. And if am I mistaken? And like this started because somebody said I want to punch Nazis and I lost a follower, and that upset the quartering. I'm very confused. That's how this started, right? Like I'm not misinterpreting this. Somebody said, hey, I said I want to punch a Nazi and I lost a follower. And then the guy was like, ha, it sounds like you traded up. And the quartering's like, oh my God, you're being the Nazi somehow. I don't really understand it. It's very weird. Do you actually think this way? Because, like, listen, it's one of those things where, like, his brain might have actually come to that logical conclusion that's wrong. But I wonder if the quartering ever talks to people. You know? Not his wife. Like, people. People that like were like, hey, you know, Jeremy, this is dumb. What you're saying is really ignorant. Do you do that? Because I feel like that's a huge issue when people just like won't chat with other people that like disagree with them. It's usually the larger content creators. They feel like it's not worth it anymore, you know?
professor is done explaining how his family went through the Holocaust, Jeremy then makes a oven joke about roasting the professor.
I don't want to do... All right, fine. Hold on. Looks like we're gonna have to roast the professor.
Very based. Jeremy
That's exactly what I was gonna say. My next words are gonna be based, but you beat me to it. Jesus Christ, dude, come on! Like, there's a fucking time and a place. I make jokes all the time, but like when we're like, this dude's like, he's basically crying. He's like, yeah, I'm really upset, and this is when he made the joke. Just very, very out of touch, bro. Very, very unfortunate. Very sussy. Very suspicious.
He's made tweets, videos trying to cancel Hassan and Ethan for laughing.
If you celebrate someone else getting COVID, you're a piece of shit. Oh, I remember. Like they were talking about the Hassan and Ethan were talking about people getting COVID. Yeah, I watched that whole podcast. Like, it was a little uncomfortable, but to the credit of Hassan, he was like, I feel bad for people who are the victims of misinformation that get COVID because people are telling them the wrong thing and not being safe. But when it comes to the people who are speaking the misinformation, I don't care if they die. And I was like, okay, that's fair. I think, I mean, I wouldn't have been so callous, but also like I don't really like Ethan or Hassan, but when I watched it, I was like, okay, I understand what you're saying. That's reasonable. You know, if you're somebody who's constantly like platforming and speaking misinformation about COVID, and like you're a vaccine, what is it called? You're an anti-vaxxer and you don't get vaccinated, then you die of COVID. Like, that's actually cosmically funny. But if you're somebody who is just absorbing the misinformation from like somebody that would generally be considered reputable in your sphere, and you end up being you become a victim of vaccine misinformation and you die, like that is unfortunate, you know, because you're just a victim of another fucking moron.
Laughing at COVID deaths when he's done the exact same thing. I don't know if Jeremy actually cares about anything he says or if he just does it all for the grift. I'm going with the latter. Dude's a shill.
Why can't we get along? Why
More Froggy Fresh, please.
can't we get along? Why can't we get along?
What can one say about Jeremy? Well, they can say he's a grifter, how his content is low effort,
Okay, I'm looking for stuff in his beard. Lady tries shaming maskless couple in store. Oh, okay.
how hypocritical he is.
You got to pump those up. Okay.
But most importantly, Jeremy's sentimental. I made some tweets pointing out the hypocrisy of his brand, and as you might be able to guess, he took offense to it. Actually, he took no offense to it. It didn't bother him at all. He wanted to show how little it bothered him by quote tweeting it several times and arguing with as many people as possible about how little it bothered him.
Okay.
He then leaked DMs of me from 2 years ago, showing that I complimented him for helping out another YouTuber with
Dude, you stepping up for Nick against that chick was really awesome. I'm a big fan of you so much.
something. I don't really remember what it was, but it seemed like it meant a lot to him, and I don't want to be the guy to take that away. I told him to clutch it, hang on to it, frame it on your wall. You will remember this as the before time.
Oh my god. That's funny. It's actually very funny.
He then reiterated that he doesn't care and said, wish you the best, kid. I don't want any bad blood between me and Jeremy. That's why I'm extending the peace offer by giving him this. Yes, my DMs from 2 years ago framed. And unlike his tweet, I
Bro, come on. It's not even like properly framed. You could have at least got it in the frame. But that's still funny as fuck though. I'm just kidding. That's fucking hilarious.
Actually went through the effort of including the date. So Jeremy, just send me your address, your P.O. box, whatever, and I'll get this mailed right away. Shout out to the Patreon homies. Hella
That was actually very funny. This is the second video I've watched this guy. I like it so far, so I'm gonna subscribe to this guy. That's pretty funny, bro. That was a very poggers ending there. Unironic poggers, by the way. Unironic. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.